Part 1 Extended. You're the reason I came tonight. Ethan calling my name felt like a rope thrown into deep water, something solid one could grab onto if I wanted to save myself. I didn't. Lena didn't move either. She just watched me, eyes dark and patient, as if she already knew I wasn't going anywhere. Go, she said softly. Your friend's looking for you. You're the one who dragged me back here, I muttered. She smiled. And yet, you haven't left. I glanced toward the hallway. Ethan's voice faded, swallowed by music and laughter. The party rolled on, unaware that something fragile and reckless was unfolding near the kitchen counter. Lena shifted again, turning so she was fully facing me now. The space between us felt deliberate, close enough to be intimate, far enough to be dangerous. You know, she said, I almost didn't come tonight. I blinked. It's your apartment. She shrugged. I thought about hiding in my room. Letting Ethan have the place. I've been busy. With? I asked, immediately regretting how curious I sounded. Her gaze held mine. Life. Work. Dating. That last word hit harder than it should have. Oh, I said. Relax, she added quickly. Nothing serious. I nodded, but the image lingered anyway. Lena across from someone else at a candlelit table, laughing that soft laugh, leaning in close. The idea twisted something tight in my chest. She noticed. Of course she did. Her eyebrows lifted slightly. That bothers you. It shouldn't, I said. But it does. I exhaled. You're not exactly subtle. She laughed under her breath. Neither are you. A beat passed. The music shifted to something slower, heavier. Somewhere nearby, a couple brushed past us, arguing in whispers before disappearing down the hall. Lena leaned back against the counter again, folding her arms, not defensively, just thoughtfully. I knew you'd be here, she said. That's what you already told me. I mean, I knew. She hesitated, then added, Ethan said you asked about me. My stomach dropped. He talks too much. He said you asked if I'd be coming tonight. He said you tried to sound casual. I groaned. Please tell me he didn't. He did, she said, amused. And then he teased you about it. That felt on brand. So, she continued, I got dressed. Put on this dress. Her hand brushed the fabric at her hip, not showy, just factual. And I came out here. For me, I said quietly. For you, she confirmed. I stared at her, searching for the punchline. There wasn't one. Why? I asked. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she studied me, really studied me. Like she was deciding how honest to be. Because, she said finally, you've been a question in the back of my mind for a long time. A question. MMHMM. I swallowed. What kind of question? Her lips curved slightly. The kind you don't ask out loud. Silence stretched between us. Not awkward. Electric. I shifted my weight, suddenly unsure what to do with my hands. Lena, this is complicated. Yes, she said calmly. It is. You're my best friend's sister. Yes. And you're older. Barely, she scoffed. And this could ruin things. Or, she countered, it could finally stop driving us both crazy. That made my breath hitch. She stepped closer again, just a half step. Enough that I could see the tiny freckle near her collarbone, the way her lashes cast shadows under her eyes. Tell me something, she said softly. Did you really disappear, or did you think staying away was the right thing to do? I hesitated. That was answer enough. She nodded slowly. I thought so. I didn't want to make things weird, I said. For Ethan. For you. You don't get to decide what's weird for me, she replied, not unkindly. I met her gaze. And what do you want? Her eyes flicked toward the hallway, then back to me. Right now. Yes. She leaned in, voice dropping. Right now, I want to know what would have happened if you'd kissed me that summer. My pulse thundered in my ears. That's not fair, I said. No, she agreed. But it's honest. For a moment, neither of us moved. The air felt thick, heavy with things unsaid. Then footsteps approached. Lena straightened instantly, stepping back just as Ethan appeared at the end of the kitchen, holding 2 beers. There you are, he said. Man, the place is packed. His eyes flicked between us, suspicious but clueless. Everything good? He asked. Fine, Lena said smoothly. I was just borrowing him. Ethan grinned. You always do. She smirked at me, and something unspoken passed between us, not over, not even close. Come on, Ethan said, tossing me a beer. Drinking game's about to start. I caught it automatically. Go, Lena said quietly. We'll talk later. When? I asked. Her smile turned dangerous. When you stop pretending you don't want to. She turned and disappeared down the hall, leaving me standing there with a full cup, a racing heart, and the unmistakable sense that tonight had already changed everything. And it was still early. Part 2 extended, the space between almost and too far. The door clicked shut behind me, softer than it should have sounded for how loud my thoughts were. Lena didn't move right away. Neither did I. We stood there, the air between us humming like a live wire, both pretending we weren't aware of how close we already were to crossing something we couldn't uncross. Her room was nothing like I'd imagined, and somehow exactly what I should have expected. Clean, but lived in. Books stacked on the nightstand, a jacket tossed over a chair, faint traces of her perfume lingering in the air. It felt personal in a way the rest of the apartment didn't. This feels strange, I said quietly. She nodded. It's supposed to. I glanced back at the door. Ethan's right down the hall. I know. You're not worried. Her eyes held mine. Are you? Yes, I said immediately. Then, after a beat, but I came anyway. That earned me a slow, thoughtful smile. So did I. She walked past me, unhurried, and sat on the edge of the bed, not inviting, not dismissive. Just honest. I stayed where I was, hands in my pockets like that would somehow keep me grounded. You've been on my mind more than you should be, she said. That's not fair, I replied. You don't get to say that like it's nothing. It's not nothing, she said softly. That's the problem. I exhaled, dragging a hand through my hair. I tried to forget it. Did you? She asked. I didn't answer. She patted the spot beside her, not insistently, just an option. I hesitated, then sat, leaving a careful space between us. Too much space to be casual. Not enough to feel safe. I remember the way you used to look at me, she said. Like you were afraid I'd notice. I was. She turned slightly toward me. I noticed anyway. That sent a quiet jolt through me. Then why didn't you say anything? Because you were younger, she said. And because you were my brother's friend. And because timing matters. And now? I asked. She met my gaze. Now you're not a kid anymore. And timing still matters, but so does honesty. The music outside shifted again, louder now, messier. A burst of laughter echoed down the hall, then faded. The world kept spinning, indifferent to the fact that mine felt precariously balanced. You know this could blow up, I said. Yes. Ethan would be furious. Eventually, she admitted. And if it ruins our friendship. She cut in gently. I wouldn't be doing this if I thought it would destroy him. I studied her face, searching for doubt. I didn't find any. What do you want from me? I asked. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she reached out, slowly, giving me time to pull away, and brushed her fingers against the back of my hand. The touch was light, almost careful. I want you to stop pretending this is one-sided, she said. My breath caught. Lena, tell me I'm wrong, she said. Tell me you haven't felt this pull every time you've been in the same room as me. I looked down at our hands. At the way her fingers hovered, waiting. I felt it, I admitted. I just didn't think I was allowed to. Her thumb brushed my knuckle, barely there. You're allowed to feel whatever you feel. That doesn't mean I should act on it. No, she agreed. It doesn't. We sat there like that, suspended in the space between restraint and desire. Her touch never pressed, never demanded. That somehow made it worse. Then a loud thud came from the living room. Ethan's voice slurred something unintelligible, followed by groans and laughter. Lena smiled faintly. He's out. You sure? He's always dramatic before he passes out. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Relief mixed uncomfortably with something else. She withdrew her hand slowly, as if testing whether I'd reach for it again. I didn't. That didn't mean I wanted her to stop. I don't want this to be a mistake, I said. Neither do I, she replied. That's why we're still talking. I glanced at her. You make it sound like talking is the hard part. It is, she said. Once you stop talking, things get complicated fast. A beat passed. Then maybe we should keep talking, I said. She laughed softly. You really are trying to be good. I'm trying not to be reckless. Her gaze softened. Those aren't always the same thing. She stood then, moving to the window, creating distance before I could decide whether I wanted less of it. I watched her silhouette against the city lights, the quiet confidence in the way she carried herself. I don't regret saying something tonight, she said. Even if nothing comes of it. I stood too, drawn closer without meaning to. You don't. No, she said. Because now it's real. And I'm tired of wondering, what if? I stopped a few feet away. And if, what if, turns into, we shouldn't have. She turned to face me. Then we deal with it. Her honesty was disarming. You're dangerous, I said quietly. She smiled. You're just finally noticing. Another laugh burst from outside, then silence. The party was winding down. Lena glanced toward the door, then back at me. You should go before someone starts looking for you. I nodded. Probably. Neither of us moved. She stepped closer, close enough that I could feel her warmth again. She didn't touch me this time. Whatever happens next, she said softly, it won't be an accident. I met her eyes. No. For a moment, it felt like everything balanced on a single breath. Then she stepped back, giving me space, real space this time. Good night, she said. Good night, I replied. I left the room with my heart pounding, the hallway dim and quiet now. Ethan was passed out cold on the couch, oblivious. I grabbed my jacket, pausing once to glance back toward her door. It stayed closed, but I knew, without a doubt, that something had been opened. And it wasn't going to stay that way for long.